What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are all doing well. This is my favorite shirt. Sorry for the delay on this video. This video was supposed to come out over a month ago. I tried to edit it, started editing it, ran out of space on the Mac, moved some files around, got error messages I've never seen before. Then I got into photography, took a little break. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, video right there for you. Then I tried to re-record it last week around Wednesday or Thursday. Super windy, audio was completely terrible, couldn't hear anything I was saying. So now we are recording it for the third time's the charm. Now that we got that dance out of the way, we have to talk about who Huawei is, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't even know who they are. So first and foremost, CEO Ren Zhengfei, however you want to say that, I'm sorry I butchered your name. He is the CEO for Huawei. He leads the world's second largest smartphone manufacturer. Yes, I said that right, the second largest. And you might be thinking, oh, that must mean Apple's first. Wrong, Apple is not first. Samsung is actually first. Samsung, Huawei, and Apple. Now, the other thing you have to know about them is they are a Chinese telecommunications company, which means that they basically just do everything that Apple and Samsung do. They make tablets, they make smartphones, everything like that. And they've been doing really well, especially in China. But when they tried to get into the US market, that's where things got really interesting, and that's where we're gonna start. And on the fateful day of October 16th, 2017, one amazing phone came out, and that is the Huawei Mate 10 Pro. Now, this phone was interesting for a lot of things that I could talk about for an entire video just by itself, but we're just gonna name off some key features on why it grabbed the US's attention. So the first thing it had was an 18:9 display, which is starting to get really popular, especially since Samsung came out with their Galaxy S8 that had an 18.5:9 aspect ratio. And with that 18:9 aspect ratio, this phone was also packing a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. If you guys don't know what that means that the battery was huge, and I'm pretty sure you can get 2 days use out of it easily. And with that battery, it also came with Huawei Charge. Now with Huawei Charge, you can go from 0 to 50 in about half an hour. And the last major feature on this phone was the Kirin 970 chip. Now you might be wondering what in the world is a Kirin 970 chip, because a lot of you have never even heard that. The Kirin 970 chip is a chipset manufactured by Huawei themselves, which means that because it was manufactured by them, you're going to have top of the line performance, everything is going to be super smooth because it was made specifically for the phone. And after the Huawei Mate 10 Pro was received very well by the US, they hit it out of the park again on April 2018 with the Huawei P20 Pro. Likewise, I can talk about this phone for an entire video about how awesome this phone is, but we are going to name off the key features. Now, this phone had a 6.1 inch display with the notch up top, which you either hate or hate, because let's be honest, nobody likes notches. It also had the Kirin 970 just like the Mate 10 Pro did, which means it's going to give you better performance and everything I mentioned previously with the Mate 10 Pro. And the feature that really blew this phone out of the water was the camera, or should I say cameras. Now this phone had 3 cameras along the back side of the phone. Now one of the cameras was a 20 megapixel monochrome sensor. The other sensor was a whopping 40 megapixel RGB lens. And the last one was an 8 megapixel telephoto lens. Now all these 3 combined make for some amazing photos. And that wasn't it. They didn't just add an amazing camera, they also added a small feature called hybrid zoom into that camera. Now a lot of times when you're zooming in on things that are really far away, the more you zoom in, it starts to get very pixelated and grainy. That's called noise. And with 5 times hybrid zoom, it allows you to zoom in to something that's really far away and not lose as much quality. Now I have to say that is an amazing feature, and I wish a lot more manufacturers put that into their phones as well. And now we move into the phone that I am 100% sure is the best phone of 2018. Don't at me. The Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Now this phone has tons upon tons of features, but the first thing that we have to talk about is the screen. Now the screen on this one is similar to the P20 Pro. It has a notch, but you can turn it off obviously. But in that notch is something a little bit more interesting. So just like Apple with their Face ID, Huawei's introducing their own version of Face ID that allows you to unlock the phone with just your face. Now with this phone, you also get a 4,200 milliamp hour battery, which is huge. And once again, I guarantee you will get 2 days usage out of this if you play your cards right. And they even improved again with this battery from the Huawei Charge and the Mate 10 Pro with this one. So with this one, you can go from a completely dead phone, 0% having no juice at all, to 70% in half an hour. Even if they're cooking the numbers on this one, that is just absolutely ridiculous. The fact that you can go downstairs, watch your favorite show for about half an hour and come back to a 70%, that can last you about a day and a half. Now this phone also had a triple camera setup along the back, just in a different orientation as the P20 Pro. It's the same sensors, a 20 megapixel, a 40 megapixel, and an 8 megapixel. That's awesome. Now we have to move into the really cool features. Now this phone is one of the very few that have an in-display fingerprint sensor. That means that you put your thumb onto the display, it lights up, reads your fingerprint, and unlocks the phone. Now I will admit it's not exactly the fastest thing in the world, but it does look absolutely amazing if you show off in front of your friends. And lastly, this feature alone could have sold the phone by far. This one has reverse wireless charging. Now if you know what wireless charging is, that means that you can put your phone on a designated area of a pad or anything like that on a table, and it will send charge to your phone without you having to plug anything in. That's called wireless charging. Reverse wireless charging does the opposite of that. It uses the phone, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, as a charging pad. That means that if you have a phone that's wireless charging capable, then iPhone 8, 8 Plus, iPhone 10, iPhone 10s, 10, all of those phones, if you turn the feature on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, turn that feature on in the settings, you put the back of those phones together, you are charging that phone. Now, once again, this sounds absolutely amazing and futuristic, but it's not that practical, as some people have reported that the voltage is so low that it's almost not even worth using. But the fact that they even put it in the phone, they get props for that. And with all that said, all that's amazing, but the sad part is I'm sure almost maybe 80 or 90%, even that might be a little bit high, might not even know what those phones were until I told you about them. And this is where we move into the bad stuff. So yeah, Huawei has all those phones, but there is something that was really holding them back from really entering the US market, and that's being more aware of them. CES 2018 was where Huawei was set to have their own conference, and everyone was specifically hyped about this because there were rumors floating around that they were going to partner with AT&T and have an official launch into the US, and everyone was super excited about that. But after the conference, everyone quickly learned after the speaker told them that they're only going to be selling their phones to third-party sellers like Best Buy and Amazon. And things got a little bit worse after that when Verizon announced that they were no longer going to be selling any of Huawei's products. Not just their phones, their laptops, their smartwatches, everything like that. They weren't going to be selling anything Huawei. And what a lot of people might have forgotten was in 2012, the Housing Intelligence Agency reported that they had suspicions about ZTE, which is another Chinese telecommunications company just like Huawei, that they had suspicions about those companies spying on us. And that kind of came back to bite them in the butt. And because of that, the US government put a ban on buying anything Huawei related that can come into the US. So US businesses cannot buy anything Huawei related and bring them over here. And sadly, things did not get any worse. As of December 2018, their CFO, Meng Wanzhou, hopefully that's how you pronounce her name, I'm not great at this, was arrested for spying allegations. And the US government is just scared in general of Huawei spying on us, knowing where our troops are. As there's just so many things that they're worried about them spying, and that reputation is going to stick to them for a while. But I'd like to bring your attention to a company called Genesis. Now, if you guys don't know who Genesis is a luxury car company. And you might be wondering, Eric, why are you talking about a luxury car company? So Genesis is a luxury car company. They sell luxury cars and everything great like that. But upon looking on them, you wouldn't know that they're actually owned by Hyundai. Now, the reason I said that is because Hyundai knows their consumers. They know that if they want to get a luxury car, they're not necessarily going to look to Hyundai. Depending on your bank account, you're not going to think of Hyundai as a luxury car brand. So what they did was they created another car brand that was specifically for luxury cars that was owned by them, so they didn't have to sacrifice their profit by trying to start their own luxury car brand as Hyundai. Now, I say that because I think Huawei should do something a little bit similar. They do have other brands like Honor and other small companies under them that are more popular in China, but I think if they want to have a more successful presence in the US, especially with the US being dominated heavily by Apple, I think they have to rebrand themselves. Maybe come out with another brand, maybe partner with something else so that they can actually be successful, or at least more successful in the US. Because right now, If you say Huawei to anyone, they're more than likely gonna assume it's something with spyware, or spy is gonna be somewhere in their thought process when you hear Huawei. To this day, people are still thinking about Galaxy Notes blowing up, and that was almost 2 or 3 years ago with the Galaxy Note 7. But if you bring that out to people's attention, all they're gonna remember is the bad stuff about it. But anyway guys, thank you for watching the video, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Hope you guys have a great day. Remember, if you like this video, go down below, click that like button. If you are new, make sure you click the sub button, join Innovation Nation, and I will see you guys in the next one.